So moved, they be approved.
Okay.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Okay. With regard to the claims, I guess I did the claims this time. Sure I did. Well, I'm pretty sure they're in here somewhere. I did note, for my fellow commissioners, I did note there was a couple of bills from Brakeman Brothers. I pulled the bills, I looked at them, they were all totally itemized. Every piece of equipment was itemized. There were no blank bills. A question, Jim, do you know what happened to the credit cards? Why they were turned down?
I do.
Can you explain that?
In April, if you remember, we have that extra week where we don't pay. It's an extra week of not having commission meetings.
Okay.
So what happens is we're continually using them. So like Rita took hers out and she turned her stuff in. So then we have like another almost 2 weeks of usage on their credit card before we get paid on it when we have the extra week. And we had an extra week again in July.
Yep, we're coming up with that again, so.
And it'll be again in December. So we need to remember that.
Okay, so the cards were, say we over credit?
Not over credit so much as at the limit, and we just continue to use them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, we're over the limit, we wanted to go over the limit.
Correct.
Is there a need to, what is the limit on it?
I like yours is 1,000. And I think that I do. I need to just call them and increase it.
I do too. I think to avoid that problem, I think we need to raise the limit on them.
Usually
You know, here's what happened. Rita got to a meeting and they had assigned her my credit card and she gets there and she can't use it. They won't take it, so, or it rejects. Well, it's kind of a bad deal. So, anybody want to make a motion that we increase the limit on the card?
I'll make a motion that we increase the credit card limit to at least, what, 2,000?
I'd say try that.
Yeah, I think that would get us.
Sorry.
Motion is second. All approved, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Jen, there were 3 out of 0130. That's ours, right? There were 3 attorney, a consulting fee, a planning commission amount, and an attorney appropriation fee. Should those have come out of the legal fund? I didn't want to bother you that day because you had George in your ear. But
That is 3101 is your legal fees. This is your account for legal fees. That's okay.
well, I'm not saying we didn't know the bill. I'm just saying those have been billed to somebody else.
You have legal consulting under Commissioner's budget.
I see. Okay. I saw the big bill for our annual insurance, and so for your edification, I asked John if he wouldn't please break that down so you have a breakdown of the insurance. Under the heading, I don't know how this happened, because I don't know how this happened. We had quotes to seal and stripe 3 different lots. I guess I kind of thought we looked at them and didn't take any action on them, but the jail got done. So it's
Who did?
Van Am Seal and Stripe. So I'm not sure. I got to try to figure out how that happened, that it got to that point, because I don't think we ever said go ahead and do it. Do you recall?
We didn't approve any.
Oh, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So, kind of the way it come to me was, there was some talk of doing the one at Community Corrections, and I got a call from them, and I said, whoa, 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 we didn't approve any. So, all right, I will, between now and next meeting, I will research how that came about and let you know. But I know I didn't give a go-ahead either. We had been, maybe this is a shade, we had been doing a phone reimbursement of $27, and now we get one for 30. Did we change that? Does anybody know? For our
No, as
reimbursement?
far as I know, it's been 27, that's what you guys told me.
Okay, all right, we had a 30 reimbursement there. So, well, I'll deal with that one. Find out what that's all about.
Back to the striping and sealing, Denny. You might want to talk to Denny, because he's the one
Well,
that came up and, yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
will, because he's the one that presented it to us, but I was for sure, until I talked with my other commissioners, I just know we just never had a discussion, that said, oh, let's go ahead and do it. I was
I
positive
don't
of
think
that.
we had a discussion at all on restriping.
Well, I mean, we definitely didn't have
No, we
a
had no
vote to do
discussion
it or
at all.
anything,
We had
so.
none, zero.
Right.
It never was brought to us.
Right, so we just got the papers individually. Okay, so that's pretty much what I had for claims this time. Anybody else see anything you had questions
I
on?
was gonna ask Jen, do you notice that we're getting away from GovPro again with some of our purchases?
I haven't, but I've seen there was some bigger bills in there for Heinen, but even I had to order envelopes here lately, so I knew what the auditor's office
Right,
was for.
right.
I would have to look at each one of them and verify that they were just for printing
I
supplies.
think next month we'll go over those and see what, if it's just a fluke.
Okay, okay.
I mean,
I
can
apologize.
tell-
I did see those, and I think what happened to me, because you guys are you're so in tune with GovPro, and I saw those and I kind of blew right by them, and then, you're right, I should have stopped and looked at them, so.
If they're for printing reasons, I don't have a problem with
No,
Heinen.
no.
So,
We still need a motion to approve claims.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign.
Now I have a couple questions on the balances.
That one's
Okay.
mhm.
I would,
Let me go too. Hold on.
number one, do you know how much we get per month for our seated?
I can tell you the breakdown here in just a minute. Just us or the entire county?
Just us, just what's allowable for us to spend.
I like this form. I think there's a lot of good information in this form.
In that report?
Yep.
Let me get county general out of there.
I don't waste time, but.
No, that's okay.
if
Keep
you
talking, I'll
can
get it.
Keep talking, you'll get it.
Mhm.
Okay.
She's working on it.
But what I'm going to ask you has to do with you, your
Oh.
form here, so you can get that to me later, but I would like, I would like to have that amount. The 911, I found out that was transferred. In, account 6,000 tax distribution clearing fund, 108.66 shows a negative balance.
That was an
And-
error in distribution for the spring.
How will that be made up and when?
It'll fix itself in the fall. We expense some liens to Tri-Lake Sewer.
So that's fall catch,
That's correct.
okay? And I heard Don ask you, riverboat sharing, that's gambling, that goes to general fund, okay? Account 8617 on internet crime, how do we get receipts into that? Because that's 56, almost 5,700 in the red.
It's grant money
From whom?
from the federal, and they, being the prosecutor's office, has to turn in expenditures out of it.
Prosecutor?
Patty, and she's aware of it too.
8893 prosecutor ARRA fund, and that shows 432 in the red. How is that? From their fees over there or something or what?
The AAR is child support money, and if you look down below that, all the state did was rename it to incentive funds.
Prosecutor incentive?
And the clerk incentive and county general incentive. I think we can use the money, and I've sent a question down to Tammy and Debbie at State Board of Accounts to just clear that $400 and some out, because the AAR funds are no longer. And I also asked at the same time the amount that's in that one be moved down.
6501.
Yeah,
Be put into
They're gonna be like-
8897.
dormant funds like the 911 funds.
Okay. All right, thank you.
I'm sorry, I stopped.
I do like this report a lot, just for that reason. It's thought provoking. So
And we balance with the treasurer every month, so we can generate those as soon as we get done with it.
Gosh, did we approve claims then?
Mhm.
I've already forgotten. Okay. See. I had a question. I think I'm gonna have to direct it to you, Jen. Are we in the process of rolling AVs and stuff, or can you give us an idea of where we are in that status?
Our ratios went down to state and we've been approved,
Okay.
and then they came back already,
Yep.
like within a week.
Yep, they were
So-
approved. Okay.
The state assessed utilities that we got by PDF files are in and balanced in my office.
Okay.
Personal property has rolled to us and balanced as of last Friday, and we're working on doing exemptions as far as ERAs and non-for-profits and churches and that sort of information. So, right now, the state assessed utilities and the personal property are in. We're waiting for her to finish up the real estate, and then the same thing, Rita's taken off of that again to go to the state call meeting that she's required to go to this week.
So we are still waiting on the assessor's office?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They haven't rolled the real estate AV too much yet.
Okay. Okay. Do they have any idea when they will?
As of today, I didn't get an answer to that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Once that happens, are we prepared in the other departments to continue on? You're saying you're working on
I have
some
all my
stuff.
homesteads and age and mortgages in. The only thing that waits for the actual values is real estate tax abatements, which is based on a percentage of what their AB is now. So I gotta wait to get the assessed value before I can implement the real estate abatement.
Okay.
So it's gonna be pretty quick once it gets to us.
All right, Mr. Ethley.
The only thing I have on is the, Mr. Henry's in attendance again. He said we would get to, on BZA and zoning info and why that wasn't showing down. And have we done anything on that yet?
I tried to take care of it even that day, maybe the day after. Essentially, what the heck did I tell you, Henry? I'm sorry.
Bottom line is Kathy keeps the information on her computer till year end, and then she drops it off. Now, why it didn't get there, who knows, but I can understand the situation that they're in now. But the only thing for 2010, the first part of 2011, She has got the paper documentation, but there's nothing computerized at this point. She would have to go back and rescan those documents and then put them down in the center.
But it was made clear that he can't have those documents.
Yeah, I can get out.
He can have
I just have to spend some time
Yeah.
upstairs.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to see it. Okay.
Uh, were you clear on the free reader part? I think you'd had a question about, when we put in Microsoft or Office terms.
That was another question, yeah, like, the question I asked to a lot of people and is if there were any standards for putting the documents out there, be they Word or PDF or whatever. Yeah, and that document reader is Brandon brought forth, is available, but that requires you to put another document or another software program on your machine. Basically, everybody's got the PDF reader document. Do you need another one? You know, I would recommend as a standard that all documents that go down there go down in PDF format.
Okay, I guess I want to back up a second. I was told that the free reader feature is for people who have older versions of Microsoft Office that are unable to read it. So you just can read it by punching free reader.
Well,
It didn't require any other software.
Yeah, that's true, but I guess my point where I started off is there's a lot of people, myself included,
Okay.
that do not want to spend the extra money for the Microsoft products.
I understand, it's expensive, I understand
Yeah,
that.
right.
And what happens to me is I have the latest version, and I'll send it to people, and they say I can't read it, so it's frustrating to me too.
Yeah,
So,
you've got, it's in different formats.
yeah, and you wouldn't think it'd be that way, but it is.
That's why
Okay.
I would recommend that PDF become the standard.
Okay. All right, we'll talk about that then, thank you. Let's see. Did it?
Last meeting, at the end of the meeting, we talked a little bit about a group from the lakes. We're looking at possibly changing the ordinance for dogs, so that in the lake residential area that we have no more than 5 dogs per residence. We talked about it a little bit, and the situation that with a kennel you can only have 4 dogs, but they have to be for sale for that kennel to be in effect.
That's a planning commission.
Yes, through the planning,
Designation, right,
yeah, through the
right.
planning commission. So,
Right.
what the group would like to do is would request that through ordinance, through planning ordinance, that through lake residential, that we consider no more than 4 to 5 dogs per residence.
Okay. So is that a planning commission? I understand it'll get to the commissioners,
Yeah.
but if you're gonna say, why are we picking on the lake residential? I mean, how?
Well, for the simple fact that everything is so close in the lakes.
No, I know, but I mean, okay, because we don't control towns.
Right, right. Well, Columbia City has their own ordinance, but.
And I think Cherubusco would take care of themselves.
Right.
Okay,
right,
so it's intense population.
Right. Lake
in the lakes.
residential.
Okay, so you would suggest, or they're suggesting for lake population, a limit to the number of dogs each
residence.
Okay. All right, so where do we go from here?
Well, I guess we need, I guess, are there any of the options that we can come up with? I was trying to come up with options, to be honest.
Oh, I
to
see. I see.
You know, because
Yeah.
I'm not one that likes ordinances.
You know, I'll just, you know me, I'll speak my mind. I would never support such an ordinance. So
Okay.
I'm not gonna start telling people how many dogs they can have. That's just me. But if it gets to me, I'll have to vote my way, but that's, so.
Well,
But I didn't know where it would start. Is that a planning commission thing?
Yes, it probably would be.
Okay.
But I guess what my thought was, bringing it to the commissioners and seeing what your thoughts were and if you're not interested in another ordinance, what are our
Other options?
alternatives?
What controls it then?
Lake residential
Say I have 4 dogs.
really it doesn't matter as long as you don't sell those dogs.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd have to be in business to
Yes.
resell.
Right.
And they went through the plan commission because that would be a business.
Right. That would be a
And
kennel
if you
business.
establish a business in the county, I don't care if it's used carbon, selling dogs, whatever it might be, the plan commission has to okay that or give you a variance of the ordinance or
Right,
whatever it
because
is.
in lake residential, kennels are not an approved.
They're not in there as
Right.
to be approved business.
Right.
So what we're doing is ask that to be included or not. And people want it included, I take it.
Right.
Okay. Well, I do remember, I think just a few, I don't know if it's business or not, a few weeks ago, the city council turned one down, I think, for raising chickens.
Right.
You can't have too many chickens unless they're in the freezer. Okay? And I don't know what the number was, but I know the city council turned that down.
None. They can't have chickens.
But,
You can't have one chicken.
no, well,
In the freezer you can.
but they were wanting chickens.
Yep.
Would you like to say something? This is part of the group.
It's just the sound of barking dogs echoes off the lakes, and it just amplifies. Plus, you have a proof factor, and this is running into the lakes, and with the increased number of dogs, the proof factor running in and polluting the water is a very concern. There's been many, many articles written about the E. coli and blue-green algae because of the phosphorus running in Grand Lake St. Mary's. With all the agriculture around that area, it just drains into the lakes, and then blue-green algae shuts down the lakes and costs millions of dollars. Not even a given that this is clearing up the blue-green algae, and with the ordinance in Columbia City to limit the number of cats and dogs, we just wanted that extended also to the lake residential areas, both for health reasons, noise reasons.
Should I ask you a blunt question?
Sure.
If one person left and took their dogs with them, would you be sitting here?
Probably not.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I one of the first things I did, of all the important things that we do in this office, that's a joke, okay? But one of the things that I took care of when I came was a barking dog ordinance. This county had no barking dog ordinance.
And we have used
And I know what your frustration is. I know what your frustration is, but it's there, darn it, and we didn't even have one before. And what we don't, I'm not saying we, what I don't want is to ever start to work on a noise ordinance in Whitley County. That's a can of worms.
I know.
So that's why I'm asking. I mean, because I think I know exactly what your frustration is, and I wished I had an answer.
And it's no vet care, no vaccinations.
Right.
I drive by and I see weepy, runny noses and mange.
Yep.
And it's bad, very bad.
And they've tried to go through the health department also.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and I mean, yeah, the situation just slips through the cracks. It doesn't actually.
No.
It doesn't. I mean, I think we do what we're supposed to do, but
And time again, we have called the sheriff and brought these people to court, and she's being fined $600 a pop, almost on a monthly basis. And still, she doesn't understand. It's our fault because we called the sheriff.
Is she in a business or just has it?
She has before. I've seen ads in the paper, but it's been years ago. selling puppies. At 6 weeks old, vaccinated, dewormed, housebroken, supposedly, at 6 weeks. But it's been years. I have
We probably don't have the opportunity, but we should require that she presents the health papers when they go out on the barking dog ordinance, but we probably can't, we probably don't have the ability to. And I do apologize for your frustration. I know how bad it must be. One of the reasons we even got the barking dog ordinance was because of a complaint in the Cherubusco area. It was absolutely positively clear to the human that the offender was raising puppies, okay?
Yes.
Absolutely, and the problem was approached by going to the planning commission, who said you need a kennel license, and we were given their website, and on their website you could tell the person had been to 40 lawyers, because you go to their website and guess what? They didn't sell you puppies. They would give you a puppy, but you have to pay the freight charges. You had a freight charge you had to pay.
And we found under the Better Business Bureau where they were listed as a breeder, but they didn't pay into the Better Business Bureau, so they're not, I mean, they were listed as a business.
Yeah. Well, as I said, I opened my mouth and I said it, I'm really opposed to coming up with any number, because doggone it, people can have some nice animals
I
and
agree,
love
as
them.
long as they take care of them, there's no problem.
But I think we're dealing with a problem here, and I think we need to keep that problem concerted and do what we can. But thank
Is
you
there
for.
anything under the public nuisance law or anything like that that you know of?
The bad thing is they get fined $600 and
That's the whole problem.
Oh,
The offender
exactly.
doesn't care.
been in jail.
Doesn't care.
Neighbors have restraining orders against them.
Well, going back to what you're saying, the only thing I know is to try to take it through the planning commission and see if they would do it for lake properties or condensed properties, whatever you want to call it. But I do apologize, and I thank you for coming. Anything else, George?
Do have one quick note. Advanced Imaging Systems was in last week with their quarterly report. Everything really looks good. They've got a secondary plan to move and change some of the devices that we have. Some of them that we're using a high-speed device where we don't need to, and we're not using one where we need one. To make it short and sweet, everything looks good as far as that's concerned. We had one problem, $722.40 as an overage for the extension office. That's the only place we really had any problems. We had 538,000 copies made in the last 3 months.
Oh. Jeez, 500,000 copies.
Yeah. Our average rate is 0.0245 per copy. Because of the overages, we came out to 0.028 was our actual print cost per piece. And then, to let you know the difference between the rates, if they use a monocolored copier, that's 0.0165 per piece. Color copier is a 0.07, 7 cents a piece for a color.
Oh, that's huge.
If they go to just the mono printer, it's 0.022 per copy, and then a color printer is 12 cents a piece for each copy that they make out of a color printer. So that's why it's been so important that we let people know which copier, which printer is more economical. And we are coming up, they've got a new system coming up, it's called I can't remember what it was, but actually when they bring the printer up on their computer, when it comes up on the screen and they want to print, it'll tell them which one of the copiers in the office is the best
Most
place,
efficient.
cost
Neat.
effective.
Neat. Neat. Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
As for me, I just wanted to report back, I've heard nothing from the DNR reference our 2 letters that we sent down. So. Okay, Ms. Pam.
I just had a couple things. I've had some requests from employees wanting to know if we were going to do flu shots this year.
Oh,
And I
that's
guess
an April thing,
in
isn't
the
it?
past, yes, and I've talked to April. I guess in the past that's been around the end of September. So we
September,
do that
October.
First of October. April said that she's always done it in the past. There's a charge involved, which can be up to $13 per employee. And I wanted to know, do we budget that? Is that something that we do every year on a normal basis? What's that process for
What
the
is
flu shots
Flu shots.
for
Oh.
county employees?
I thought that if you were an employee, it was people.
Gosh, I thought they were free, Pam. I really did.
She emailed me back and said they're usually between $10 to $13 for
I
employees.
paid last year,
So
I
do you,
think $10 is what I paid
does the
for them.
employee pay?
I probably went to the doctor. I'm trying to think. I get one. I'm one that believes in them, but I
Yeah, I went
probably.
here, paid $10.
Okay, so we have the employee pay here. We don't pick up that tab.
All right, so my question back then is, can the employee's family get it at the same rate? If I were to bring my wife in, can she also get it for 10 or, well, I mean, will you ask
Yeah,
about
I'll
that?
ask. Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Okay. I will tell you this, she can provide you with shingle shots. You're too young, you know. But she can do shingle shots, and they're relatively inexpensive. I got mine. You can't.
Really?
I didn't get it from her though.
I think
They are
Walgreens-
covered. They are covered by our insurance.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
It's about a $400 shot,
I know.
Yeah.
and here you can get them here for $177. So.
And I don't think that's an age thing because my 24-year-old daughter has shingles.
Oh, the shot. Oh, okay. The shot is. I
No,
mean,
she has shingles at the age of 24.
no. I'm saying though the shot is basically recommended for those
Yeah.
over 65.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Okay. Thank
I
you.
will check on that
Thank
as
you.
far as the,
Okay.
yeah, dependents. And then one other thing I had was,
I'm sorry. Can you make another note?
Yep.
And ask her if the new vaccine will include H1N1 and H3N2.
yes, it does already ask that question.
It includes a new H3N2? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay.
I have some copies here that I wanted to share with you guys. Recruitment policy. Current
Okay.
recruitment policy is on the top.
This is what we have
Yeah,
now,
the
right?
current one is
Okay.
on the top.
Okay.
I've got a proposed one
Okay.
underneath, which are the 3 pages proposed. I know it's 3 pages, but it's not too much longer than the other one. The proposed are highlighted that I changed and updated. And I spoke with Paula Warden out of Community Corrections and asked a couple other department heads. Really, I think it's just a matter of communication. Right now, sometimes they may have an opening, part-time, full-time, and sometimes it's not going through HR here or the coordinator here. And there's been times apparently when there's maybe been an ad in the paper and nobody was even aware of it. So we're just trying to eliminate that, the lack of communication.
I did give you a little more history. We had a recent hiring before Pam got here that just sort of blew through. Nobody knew anything about it. And so I asked Amy, when Pam comes on board, will you please sit down and try to come up with a policy? Basically, it's just you need to go through HR. It's just
Yeah.
that simple. You
Yeah.
don't. The HR shouldn't wake up some morning and look in the newspaper and see that a department's wanting an employee. HR should be the first to know that.
And
So.
when speaking with the department heads, they really liked what we call an employment requisition form. And really all this is just a communication tool. So the department head, when they have an opening or a need, would complete this, and this form would simply come to here, this office, the coordinator's office
Great
or
job,
HR.
man. Great
And
job.
then everybody would be on the same page. We would know what was going on, and then I would report back to the department head and say, okay, let's start the recruiting process, and we would work together on how to do it.
Thank you very much.
There's
That's
nothing.
wonderful. We would need a motion to approve this, to put it in our policy manual.
I'm gonna read it first. I table it
Okay,
till the next meeting.
table till the next
That's
meeting.
Well, I haven't read
Good
it.
enough. Okay, thank you. Okay,
And that's all I have, thank you.
okay. Somebody not bringing permits anymore? Are we not
haven't
doing
had any
utilities?
utility
We haven't
permits
done
forever.
permits for ages.
Perfect.
I did an easy thing. We're under the ERM, the electronic reporting management now for PERF. And we did our soft open, but we have an issue with a pay date in December. Our payroll date is 12/24, which we're closed that day because of Christmas. We are off the 24th and 25th. We need to make that pay available on 12/21 or 12/26 for the requested start date. So
Well,
do we-
there's no pressure there, is there?
Vicki has a preference.
She would like the 12/21 date, the Friday date.
I would so move.
That's also winter solstice day, just in case. So, okay. Do we have a motion?
Good, then I'll second it.
Yeah. All in favor, raise your right hand, all opposed.
I will let her know that. That was a big
Tell her
issue.
on winter solstice, get those checks out.
Does anyone talk to anyone in regards to the Wheeler property that went through the commissioner tax sale, that they're wanting their funds back?
Do what?
Wheeler property down by the
Yeah.
railroad tracks.
Yeah,
These people by the name of Persons
yeah.
bought that at certificate
Oh, yeah,
sale.
we've been dealing with that with
They want their money back.
the
What is
attorneys
your
are
feel?
dealing, the attorneys are
Let
dealing
the
with that.
attorneys go?
They're dealing with that one right now. They have an attorney and we have an attorney.
We're moving to watersheds, you said the DNR. Oh, the coroner office, my office and the office you check claims in, I have no problem if the coroner would like to move to that. And it is lockable office, and if you got a lockable filing cabinet, I would have no problem with him using that office to do visits for.
We're still looking for an office. I think maybe, I'd like to look at the courthouse, see if they're over there, but not against it, but I'm not particularly.
I don't want to make a decision right now. Here's my first thought.
He doesn't get in here.
My first
okay.
thought is, from what they reported to us, they want 24/7 access. And I don't know if you want people 24/7 traipsing through your office to get to that room. I don't know. That was my first thought, so. We'll continue to work on that project.
That was it.
Okay?
He didn't talk about it, but the state as of July 3rd is allowing the treasurer and the auditor's office to communicate with taxpayers through emails if they sign up for it and sign a new form implemented by the state. So these will go out in the spring bill, but it has to be done by an ordinance, and Attorney Ziegler is preparing that.
Oh.
But it's no big rush because it's not till
Okay.
spring. But if someone asks you,
Okay.
was a new law July 3rd. So it's an email address that we have to maintain.
Okay, anything else for a good order?
Do you want to talk about the cat, or you just don't give them?
That's it. Thank you so much. I'm
I'm
sitting here
sorry.
going, come on now, there's something else. I just wanted to briefly explain to you guys that there's kind of a major change. It's not that, it's just a bookkeeping change. But last week when I was doing claims, George Helton was here working with, oh, Tom has it right here. He was working with Jim. Here's the deal. We have always got Cadget money in and put it in general.
County General.
Put it in county general. We'll just, here comes Cadget money, put it in county general. That cannot happen anymore at the county level. No effect on towns, no effect on townships. But the counties now have to have a separate Cadget fund, And so essentially, we had to go through, they went through the commissioner's budget and pulled things out of the commissioner's budget to put in the Cadget budget. So there's no change, except it's just, and they will be doing the same thing with the seated. I mean, we'll have a seated thing too, be the same way, so. Okay, adjourned.